So Dave Filoni is taking over Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy is out of there, and Dave Filoni pretty much confirms that in an interview that I'm about to show you in this video. And this is something that me and a lot of other YouTubers in the space have been speculating on forever. There's just too many things happening right now. There's too many current events that point towards Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau taking over, and Kathleen Kennedy being out of there, and where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I've been saying in my videos. I never said it was 100% confirmed. I was just bringing you the facts, telling you what's going on, telling you what I think about what's going on, and telling you that where there's smoke, there's fire. And it seems like Dave Filoni himself has confirmed that there is fire in the video that I'm about to show you. And ever since I started making videos like this, ever since I started talking about what's happening inside of Disney, what's happening inside of Lucasfilm, and what needs to happen for Star Wars to be improved, what needs to happen for Star Wars to get back to the top, ever since I started this, I've been talking about the Civil War. Ever since I started talking about the Civil War, bigger YouTube channels came after me. They made fun of my videos on Twitter. They would post screenshots of my comment section on Twitter. They even made videos of themselves trying to dispel everything that I was saying in my videos, even though it's all based on fact. And then I would speculate here and there, but I would never say something is confirmed unless I could show it to you on the screen as a fact. I would never make things up. I would never speculate and then say it's a fact. I bring you facts and then I speculate on those facts that I bring you. But they would still come after me saying that I'm lying, saying that I'm not telling the truth in my videos. But it seems like Dave Filoni himself has confirmed everything that I've been speculating on, everything that ABJ has been speculating on, and everyone else who thought that there was a Lucasfilm Civil War, everyone else who thought that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were slowly getting control over Lucasfilm, or at least slowly getting control over Star Wars. Because like I said, ever since I started posting videos about this type of thing, about the Lucasfilm Civil War, people were coming after me. And then we had this Reddit leak that pretty much just talked about what happened with the Disney sequel trilogy. Apparently this is some type of Lucasfilm insider that knows what's happening at Lucasfilm, and this leak comes out and the first thing the leak says is there has never been a cultural civil war at Lucasfilm, and everyone's yelling at me, telling me that they told me so. Everyone's like, see, these idiots thought there was a civil war going on at Lucasfilm, so if this Reddit user says there's no Lucasfilm Civil War, then there can't be a civil war at Lucasfilm, right? Well, if you just read one line down, it says, nevertheless, a disagreement on what direction to take the franchise has always been a recurring problem. Well, what do you think a civil war is? Like I've said over and over again, when people hear the word civil war, they think that they're in there with lightsabers and blasters trying to kill each other. I understand that the people who work for Lucasfilm, I understand that Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and even Kathleen Kennedy and Pablo Hidalgo, they're professionals. They're not going to run around and fist fight each other over the power at Lucasfilm. You have to be realistic, and when I use the term civil war, I use it hyperbolically. Nevertheless, a disagreement on what direction to take the franchise has always been a recurring problem pretty much sums up perfectly what I mean by a civil war. But not only do I not think that they're running around with lightsabers and blasters in the Lucasfilm headquarters, but I think even when they are fighting for power with their words, even when they are arguing with one another, they're not going to do it out in the open in the Lucasfilm headquarters where all the other employees can see. They're not going to let everyone know that they're fighting, that there's a power struggle going on, because the word would get out 100%. The word would get out to the investors. The shareholders would know, the stock price would drop. Shareholders, investors, they like stability. They don't like to see a power struggle happening. They don't want to know that a civil war is going on in the company that they're invested in. That would be horrible for business. But like I said, Dave Filoni pretty much confirmed that there is a civil war going on and that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are winning the civil war. Let's take a look at this video.
And duo.
Cam right here.
And Bub.
Yes, and Bub, my pet monkey lizard.
Not a pet.
You're a pet. Anyway, I've really been enjoying the new High Republic era literature, and my question is there...
Hold on. Did he just say he's enjoying the High Republic era literature? I knew he was weird whenever I saw a monkey on his shoulder talking, but he just took it to a whole new level. I swear this guy must be a paid actor. There is no way this is a real human. This man has a Make Solo 2 Happen shirt on, a monkey on his shoulder that talks. He has an Art of the Rise of Skywalker book in the background, and he says he likes the High Republic literature. This cannot be a real human, but let's get on with the video.
Is there a chance that that era will be explored further through live action or animated series?
You know, I can't really say for sure, but I know one thing is that we've divided Star Wars up into these big eras, and so it's nice to give a lot of creative people their own space to tell stories in, and so the writers in the High Republic era are doing a wonderful job at that, and you know, we all keep an eye on what each other's doing. So you never know. I mean, it's a big galaxy and it's ever expanding.
So pretty much what Dave Filoni is saying there is that he wants nothing to do with the High Republic. He doesn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. And when he said that they kind of keep an eye on what each other are doing, they don't keep an eye on each other. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau don't care about what the High Republic is doing. And Kathleen Kennedy and Pablo Hidalgo don't care about what Jon and Dave are doing in terms of storytelling. They only care about characters that they can virtue signal with. And a point that I just realized a couple of days ago and that I don't see a lot of people talking about is that they're constantly virtue signaling with these High Republic characters. And when they run out of High Republic characters, they move on to Lando for some reason. They're obsessed with Lando. But what you never see them doing, what you never see Star Wars using as virtue signals is Mandalorian characters, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau creations. I can't even think of a time where they used a Clone Wars creation to virtue signal on social media. I definitely have never seen them use a Mandalorian character to virtue signal. That says a lot right there, because every single thing that we speculate that Kathleen Kennedy and Pablo Hidalgo are behind, they have characters in there that they use to virtue signal on days of recognition. They always use Finn on Black History Month and Martin Luther King Jr. Day. On every other day of recognition, they just pull a random High Republic character and give them a random sexuality. And now they're using Lando for some other day of recognition. I can't even keep up with all these days of recognition that they have now. But now they're deciding to change Lando's sexuality. Now they're deciding to obsess over the original trilogy character sexuality. But you never see them touching Mandalorian character sexuality. You never see them virtue signaling with Mandalorian characters. And why do you think that is? It's because Jon and Dave refuse to let that happen. I'm sure they went and asked Jon and Dave if they could make one of their characters gay before. They probably asked Jon, is there any character that you could make gay? Is there any character that we could use on this day of recognition? And Jon was probably just like, I don't know. I don't care about these characters' sexuality. I'm just trying to tell a good story. If it doesn't pertain to the storytelling, if it doesn't push the story forward, if it doesn't improve the story that they're trying to tell, then they don't care about the characters' sexualities. They don't obsess over pushing that agenda like Kathleen Kennedy and Pablo Hidalgo do. They just don't. And I know it's been said a million times, but that's what makes The Mandalorian great. But I just think it's definitely worth noting that the Mandalorian characters are never used to virtue signal on social media like all the High Republic characters are. All the sequel trilogy characters are, and they're even going to the original trilogy now with Lando. It's just ridiculous at this point. But like I said, there's just too many current events going on right now with Lucasfilm. There's too many things happening at the same time, and then Dave Filoni coming out and saying that in an interview says a lot. But in reality, he didn't really have to say anything to convince me. I already knew what was happening based on the current events that are happening in Star Wars and Lucasfilm and Disney. If you just look around, you look at what's happening, all of these things happening at the same exact time, it says way more than Dave Filoni could ever say in any interview. Actions speak louder than words always. And you look at this from IGN, Star Wars will re-release classic Legends books for its 50th anniversary. Ever since Kathleen Kennedy became the head of Lucasfilm, she's tried to erase everything that happened under George Lucas. She hates all the old content. She always wants to let the past die. She only wants to push things that was created under her. She wants all of the rest to disappear. So why would she re-release classic Legends books? But you see that and you say, okay, maybe they're just trying to make a quick buck off these Legends fans. But there's so much more that happened at the same time that this happened. You also have Republic Commando getting an HD port. Once again, another thing that was created when George Lucas was the head of Star Wars still, when George Lucas still owned Lucasfilm. But if this happened in a vacuum, you could just say Kathleen Kennedy, Disney, Star Wars are just trying to make a quick buck off the fans for Republic Commando. But when you put together that they're re-releasing Legends books and they're doing an HD port of Republic Commando, it does seem a little bit off. Because like I said, Kathleen Kennedy hates everything that was created under George Lucas. And then you have Star Wars The High Republic Into the Dark is only 99 cents for May the 4th. Do you really think Kathleen Kennedy would allow her book to be 99 cents? Because we saw it in that interview, Dave Filoni wants nothing to do with the High Republic. He said that they're keeping an eye on what they're doing with the High Republic. That means he has no say in what's happening on the High Republic. That's a Kathleen Kennedy and Pablo Hidalgo thing. There's no way that Kathleen Kennedy, the head of Lucasfilm with her big ego, would allow one of her creations that's not even that old, the book didn't even come out that long ago, to be 99 cents. And then we have things like this happening, a Star Wars May the 4th advertisement with no sequel trilogy characters in the picture. And I already know people are rushing to the comments to say that the sequel characters are on the outside, they're just cut off because it's a Twitter picture. But do you not realize that that's even worse? For one, they could have just found a different picture that included sequel trilogy characters. And for two, you could just ask the artist to adjust the picture a little bit to include the sequel trilogy characters. You could downsize the picture a little bit to fit more into the Twitter picture space. There's so many options for them to be able to fit these sequel trilogy characters into this picture, but they chose to choose the picture that cuts them off on the outside. Come on, with all of this happening, and I didn't even list off all of it. We also have Star Wars going silent on social media for a month, and there's many more other current events that are happening that points toward Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni taking over. That points toward Kathleen Kennedy no longer being the head of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy no longer calling the shots at Lucasfilm. I didn't need Dave Filoni to say anything. I could just go off the current events that are happening. But it's really good that Dave Filoni came out and said that, because now a lot of the people that were on the fence, a lot of the people that didn't believe anything that I was saying, anything that the other YouTubers were saying that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are taking over, saying that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't have much power anymore, because why would she with all the mistakes that she's made? Disney would have to be dumb to keep letting her make decisions and to continue to let her run Lucasfilm. But now that Dave Filoni has come out and said that, everyone that was on the fence will probably be on my side. But let me know what you guys think about Dave Filoni's comments in that interview. To me, it further confirms the Lucasfilm Civil War. To me, it further confirms that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are taking over Star Wars. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you want to support the channel, check out all the new merch that I just dropped. The link to that will be in the description. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both of those links will be in the description as well. But thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.